We are Beer and Chill Podcast.
Podcast where we review TV shows, games, movies, and whatever else takes our fancy.
So what are you waiting for? If you're a cool kid like us, you're gonna listen to the Beer and Chill Podcast. You can get it anywhere from Spotify all the way to your grandmother's radio. My name is Jan.
And I'm Craigie C.
And we are
Beer and Chill.
What's your favorite scary movie?
They mostly come at night. Mostly.
For God's sake, what happened to our eyes?
Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
They're here.
Welcome, victims, to the Horr-Gasm podcast. I'm Nick, and with my co-host Ali.
Oh, I guess you don't need a script.
No script for me, since I cut most of it out.
My name's Nick, and I don't need a script. I could probably remember like 90% of mine. I'd probably miss like a tag or something, like follow us on Instagram or Twitter.
Other places. Just look
Something.
up.
Follow us.
Well,
Follow me.
according to the Grumps,
Oh,
the YouTube algorithm has changed. It's no longer like and subscribe. It's now watch our damn videos.
oh. Did you see the one? I think it was watching animated. And it's like, watch our videos or die. Like, subscribe, and survive.
Yes, I did see that. I loved it.
Oh, so good.
And Aaron jumped right away. I love it.
Yes. Like, subscribe, and we won't kill your family. It's like, whoa.
Like, survive,
They're like,
subscribe, and survive.
yeah.
Yes.
Can you say that? They're like, well, yeah, as long as you
Ooh.
like or subscribe. You think YouTube cares?
We should totally steal that and add that to our closing.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and
survive.
Ooh,
I like that.
I like that.
Ooh.
Future Nick and Al. Write this down. Yeah. More
Yeah,
talking.
more
We're gonna
talking.
have talked for over 2 hours straight. That's
fine.
about us.
I never talk 2 hours straight. So. Unless I'm doing streaming, that's like 5 or 6 hours straight. which
Right? And you're just like
extra-wise.
talking.
Yes.
Talk.
Is that when they're listening to me? No, that's fine. I'm listening.
Story of my life. I walk around my house and talk all day. Like when I'm home alone. And I have 2 dogs that don't respond. We're working on their communication skills. They're not great yet.
Oh, they listen.
You know?
Well,
Work in progress.
One listens, the other one just wants attention.
Yeah. You could be talking about either one of them. I would not know.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because both of them sometimes flip-flop that role. But, like, honestly, same.
Yeah.
I don't talk all the time and I want attention. Or I don't listen and I don't want attention. Like, that's how I would describe myself. When people, like, describe my dogs, like, my mom will be like, oh, you know, Icky's so stubborn and she doesn't listen. She doesn't want anybody to touch her. I'm like, who do you think I am? Because that is I. 'Tis I. Like mother, like daughter.
She's on the best life right now, just snoozing away with her
Yes.
sis.
And Molly's eventually, like, she's slowly getting a little bit more crusty every day. And I just love it. Every day, you know, we get closer to just being a bunch of lumps. Bunch of crusty lumps.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gotta love the lumps.
Woo!
Unless you first show up, then the one lump, the Molly, the anarchy lump, is a lump of fire.
Hey, I'm lump. I'm not so lump.
And they're the dog lumps. Yay.
Oh, God. Well, as we promised last week, quote unquote.
Last
Last episode. I made Nick watch Slitterhead.
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 It's a good one. I've seen it before. I forgot what it's called.
Yep.
It has a very Silent Hill feel to it.
Yep.
Which I love.
Yep.
Silent Hill 2 was one of the first games that really creeped me out.
I remember you playing Silent Hill for me when I was wee and being like, this is awesome.
It's it has the mood perfectly.
Yeah.
You go into a apartment building with just a flashlight that's kind of tucked on your pocket,
Yep.
and you can turn it off.
Yep.
And it's pitch black. You turn it off, you don't see a thing. And when you get close to a monster or enemy, the radio starts crackling, and it's just creepy.
I watched the Silent Hill movie the other day.
Which one?
The live action one.
Which one? There's two.
I don't know. There's a girl. They adopt a girl and she runs off. Or the mom like crashes or something into the town.
Okay, that's the first one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I think it's early 2000s. Looked like
is
it.
there like a cult? People? Family?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
It's a cult. There's
Yes,
just a group
there
of
is.
people.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep.
And the girl that's behind it all is kind of like this burnt.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
That's the first
That's
one.
it.
Okay, that's
it
the first
was
one.
good.
It was. It really was. It was
I
very
was like, why haven't I watched this before? It was
very
good.
faithful
Yes.
to the games. See, the sequel was too. And
Yeah.
people shown the sequel because I don't know. Like the first one is like the first movie has more of a first two movies put together.
Sure.
Because Pyramid Head's in the second movie or the second game.
The Pyramid Head's in this movie. Oof.
Oh, it's
Daddy
so good.
Pyramid Head.
Oh,
He's
it's so good.
shredded. I would let him hit it for free.
Ooh.
He's kind of smexy.
Aw.
A little bit. Like, why'd they have to make him so ripped?
You know what they say, if they got a big pyramid head, they're packing
You know what else
downstairs.
is big?
Yeah.
Size of the pyramid. You know.
It's not socks anymore. If you got a big pyramid head,
If you know what I mean.
being with a 2-footer. Please.
Woo.
Woo.
Woo, woo.
You seen the size of that knife of his? Woo, good damn.
Ooh, damn.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
I liked it. I watched it a while ago, but I really liked it. I thought it was good.
I think it's really good. I think it's on par with the first Resident Evil movie. Mm-hmm. And then vastly superior to all the sequels of Resident Evil because they're all garbage.
Agreed. They're fun,
crap and garbage.
but they're garbage.
Crap and garbage. Also, the second one, I hate quick cuts.
Sure.
I hate quick cuts in movies.
What do you mean?
Like, the best example is WWE wrestling, the organization. They adopted that to their show.
Okay.
So let's say you got someone punching on the outside.
Okay.
Like just one person, punch, punch, punch. So by the first punch, or by the first or second punch, they've cut to different angles 4 or 5 times.
Oof.
They do that in the second Resident Evil movie with the graveyard scene.
Okay.
Where they're running through the graveyard, and it's just cut, 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 cut. And I'm like, I'm dizzy, I'm lost, stop it.
I don't think I've seen the second Resident.
You're not missing much. They bring in Nemesis, but it's poorly done. It looks great
Sure.
for practical effects, but it almost looks too rubbery.
Okay.
And they turned into a good guy at the end, and it's dumb. It's terrible. I didn't like that part at all.
I've seen the first one.
Like it's hinted at the end of the first one when the one guy, her friend, gets infected, and we got to kind of for the Nemesis project, and they whisk him away, and then Mila Jovovich wakes up later on, and you see her snooch, which she is no. She's not shy of anything.
No.
She has no problem showing tits, ass, snooch, and pussy. She doesn't care.
Nope.
She'll show it because she is very comfortable in her body, and good for her.
Yeah.
But in the sequel, it gets weird. It picks up after the first one. The guy who gets turned into Nemesis kind of regains his humanity somehow, some way, which is bullshit. It's rough. It's a very rough version. Oh, there's a new one out. There's a new Resident Evil movie out, which is again follows the first two, but it's a little more faithful. But they still missed the mark on a couple things. I haven't seen it. I plan to watch it, but like As Above, So Below, they tried to put 2 movies into one.
Oh, that's
they,
too bad.
They should have either
Yeah.
picked one or the other.
Yeah.
I should have did the first one because everyone loves the second one, but the first
Right.
one had the mansion. It would have been more of a, they probably do more of a copy of the first movie, which is the same idea,
Sure.
but they would have had the tyrant at the end. Drop the liquor, stick with the tyrant at the end, like in the game, and that would have been, have it more of a, less at the end, have more of the middle to the end, have it chase them a bit. So, but they didn't. I don't know why they didn't, whatever. Which I guess they kind of did something similar.
Sure.
But, we went way off on the Slitherhead
That's okay.
topic.
That's what we're here for.
That's true. But I'll plan to watch it.
Yep.
I would love another Silent Hill movie. I know there was the game planned. It was, PT was like
Yes.
the plan for it. And then,
Which was still such a good movie. Game.
yes.
Such a good game.
So
I remember
creepy.
the first time I watched like a Let's Player play that game, I was like, I'm not going to sleep. Like, I was so scared for so long watching that game.
Well, I was playing, you
creeped
came
me
over
out.
one time, I was playing it. I was
Yeah.
trying to show, I just got lost.
Yeah.
And I was getting creeped out.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I can't play this anymore.
Like, I'm good,
It's-
actually.
and it's funny is that game was supposed to be Silent Hill with
Norman Reedus.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that turned into the other game he was in.
Death Stranding.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of eventually became.
Yeah.
But whatever. I
Womp womp.
digress.
But
no,
Slitherhead
Slitherhead, right? Slitherhead. It looks good.
looks good. Looks good.
Very monster themed, which I
Yeah,
love. I love the
love.
designs.
Yeah.
Has a feel of Parasite to it, as well as
Parasite the anime, not Parasite the
live action.
Live action.
well, there's live action Parasite movie, but it's
Yes.
most the
Parasite with a Y.
Parasite with a Y. That's an anime, also manga.
Yeah. Very good.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Really good.
They're either aliens or they're from the Earth.
Yeah.
We're not sure which. They didn't explain which
Yeah.
one, but they basically burrow. They get into your head.
Hosts,
They want
yeah.
they go and they kind of take over the host.
Yep.
And they want to get to the head, so they take over the whole body. Basically, whoever is inside is dead. They
Yep.
take over.
Well, because they want to get into the brain, right?
Yes.
That's
take
the
in the
whole
brain,
thing.
and they can take over the whole body.
Yeah.
With the main character Kenichi,
Yeah.
he
His host gets into his hand.
yes, it tries to go into his ear, but he has headphones in, and it gets into his hand. He uses the cord to tie it off, so he can't go any farther, and it takes over his hand, and he calls
Yeah.
it Miki, which stands for I think right
Yeah.
in Japanese. Yes, and it's a really good story how they learn to kind of work together. Yeah. And Kenichi finds out that his parents are killed by other parasites, and Miki wants to survive, so they become an agreement.
Yeah.
You help me, I help you.
Very
let's go.
Death Note.
Very,
Yeah.
but very also graphic.
Yes. Oh
Which
my
is
god,
so
it's
good.
very graphic, but good.
Yes.
Like, I love horror anime because they're not afraid to like go there.
Nope. Nope, they aren't.
Yeah, they're like,
And-
you want murder, suicide, gore, death, like graphic,
Gore.
everything. Yeah.
It's like some
You
of the
want
most
dismemberment, you want child's dying, like children dying, like we'll give it to you.
Elfen Lied.
Yep.
Elfen Lied is the best example. And it's borderline hentai. Just
This is an
with-
all good anime.
True. But it's because some of the more graphic, hentai,
Yep.
besides the graphic sexual scenes, is also graphic violence.
Right.
Where it is very, 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 very graphic. To a point where people become, they'd be gross. Like,
Yep.
this is smut.
Yeah.
But with Elfen Lied, it's it tiptoes very well in that wire between like a cartoon and like a sex,
Right,
sex cartoon.
yeah.
There's no sex in Elfen Lied, but there's a lot of nudity. But other than that, though, I've watched it. It's very, very good, very graphic. It'd be a great movie. Basically, government experimenting on girls, and they end up with powers.
Interesting.
Kind of like psychokinesis, where they're two hands.
Yeah.
They're two kind of invisible hands, and they just tear things apart. And these girls, you can tell that they're different. They have like horns on their heads.
Right.
Nothing pointy, more like panda ears. But they're horns.
Yeah.
So I think one girl, she escapes, and this boy finds her. He kind of takes care of her. She never speaks until her other side awakens. And then she's very, very talkative, very violent.
Yeah.
And she wants nothing to do with the kid because she doesn't. But then when she reverts back to her more docile, mute self, she's very protective of him.
Sure.
And government's after them. They send another one after her that's like her. It's a really great story.
Interesting. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
I think it's on YouTube. It was on YouTube. You may have to download something.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting. Very, very interesting, but very, very nude centric. Like a lot of like beginning, basically the girl has nothing on but like a mask, like a helmet that she can't see anything out of. But she just walks through and she tears people apart.
Jesus.
And yeah, I'll show you a clip after. It's
Definitely.
It's very good, very interesting.
Awesome.
But very, very graphic.
You know who else likes boobs? The characters in Idle Hands.
Good try.
I tried that.
I would go with the graphic. You know, this is a graphic movie, Idle Hands.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about it because we watched it.
It's really good.
It was good.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
It's really funny. It's not scary, but it's really good.
Scary.
It's really funny.
Yeah, the beginning I was like, ooh, cool. It's graphic and bloody and and then I was like, oh, okay, well. But I mean, I kind of knew. It says horror comedy.
Yeah.
So I knew what I was getting into.
And it's too bad it did so poor at the box office.
I know.
Which makes me
This would
sad.
not have done good in the 90s, though. This is not a movie.
But it is a 100% 90s movie.
100%. But that's why people, I guarantee, like it now. Because it's so nostalgic.
Yes.
It's so goofy.
Very.
Like, ugh.
Like, I compare it to Evil Dead 2 because it's almost the same movie.
Yeah.
With when Ash gets his hand possessed.
Yes, right.
And that's, like, it's almost like how they took the latest Mad Max movie.
Yep.
They took the best parts of the best movie, which was Road Warrior.
Yep.
Which was the end part with the chase scene, the semi-chase.
Yep.
They turned that to the whole movie. Mm-hmm. And it worked.
100%.
It worked so goddamn well. It was such a good movie. And same with Idle Hands. They took the best, not the best part of Evil Dead 2, but with the more well-known parts. When his hand becomes possessed, he cuts it off. Someone's like, hey, let's make a movie of just that part.
Yeah.
And call it, and why is it zombies? No, just the devil. Idle Hand. Devil took it. Done. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And they made a movie around it, and a good story.
Yep.
It makes sense.
It does.
They even threw in a bit of like Demon Knight.
Yes.
With the hunter chasing the hand. So
that's cool. Yeah.
It's a hodgepodge of different movies in one, and I love it. I think it's great. It's funny.
Woo!
No one else did at the time.
Huh.
But what do they know? What do they know?
No kidding.
Don't have a podcast. Screw
yeah. Well, should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Yay!
No way. Whoa. It's the only thing I can think of. Well, wait. Once that hand is gone, how are you going to cut off the other one?
Oh, the left one's a keeper. I mean, I guess it wasn't idle enough.
You sure?
Yeah. I mean, I use it for a lot of things. You know, I light up, I change the remote, I relieve a little tension. This is the answer. I know it.
Those things won't even cut my bagel.
Ah! Shit! Nick, grab the electric carver.
Oh, look at me! I'm Leatherface!
This week, we watched Idle Hands. It's a 1999 movie directed by Rodman Flender and written by Terry Hughes Burton and Ron Milbauer. Yeah.
I first read that as Flander. I'm like,
yeah, me too.
Flander.
That's why I was like, wait. Because I was watching The Simpsons
Flanders.
the other day. I'm like, indeedly do.
Okey-dokey. So sadly, this movie had a budget of $25 million and it made 4.2. Sad, makes me sad.
Womp womp.
And I don't understand because it had such a great trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It looked funny. It had Seth Green, who in 1999. This was after Austin Powers. He had the Austin Powers fame behind him.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because the first
And-
one was 98, wasn't it?
97.
Was it?
97 was Austin
Jesus.
Powers. And also he was just leaving Buffy.
Yeah. Because
Or
he
he was in Buffy.
looks Buffy-ish
Yes.
in this one, yes.
And he's just such one of the better actors out in the world. One of
Yes.
the better guys.
I freaking love him.
I do
I think
too.
he's so good. And, like, I watch Robot Chicken and I howl still. Like, it's so
The
good.
guy's got such a talent for comedy.
Yes.
Um,
And even, like, he's still voicing Chris on Family Guy. Like, he's
Yes.
got lots of lucrative roles.
oh, yes.
Like,
he's...
he's comfy. He's set for life.
Oh, yeah,
He's good.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like
So he must do it as, like, a passion project. Like, he must genuinely like it.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
Well, he's kind of not a closet nerd. Like, he's not afraid to
I was going to
talk
say,
about...
he's a big nerd.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know in Weird Al's White and Nerdy
Yep.
music video, Seth Green is in there showing off his action figures.
Yep.
In the line, my action figures are cherry. There's Seth Green just showing off,
Yep.
all his, which I'm sure they were his too. I'm like, nice.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah.
Like he's also some guy you can just sit down, I think he'd be very humble to talk to.
Sure.
And would be just easy to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
think.
absolutely.
I can't think anything bad about Seth Green. I can't.
Yeah.
Unless some horrible thing happens online or something, which I hope never happens because I love him. Also, it has... I want to get to in the cast yet. Or should I go into the cast?
Sure, why not?
Okay, sure not. I'll talk more about the movie. So the cast has Devon Sawa as Anton Tobias, and he went on and did the first...
Final Fantasy.
No, not Final Fantasy. The Destination.
Final Fantasy.
Final
Destination.
Yes.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Oh my god.
The lovely, talented Seth Green as Mick.
Love.
Eldon Henson as Penub.
Penub.
Yes.
It's such a weird name.
His name was Penub. P-M-U-B.
Yeah.
Penub.
Penub.
And he went on and he was in Daredevil.
Yeah, he plays Fog.
Yeah.
Yeah, Foggy.
Yeah, he's good for him.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when this first came out, they were really pushing that, oh, hey, Offspring's in the movie. I thought he was part of Offspring. For a long time, I'm like, oh, he's one of the singers, Offspring. Cool.
Yeah.
And then I saw Offspring. I'm like, that's not him. Okay. We have a very young Jessica Alba as Molly.
Yeah.
Who, this is before she really hit it off, too. This is like her launching point.
Her acting was not fantastic.
No.
But she literally didn't have to have a personality. She was just the hot girl next door. That's all.
Yeah,
it was.
this is.
She's so deep with her lyrics, man.
It's almost like, hey, or not hey dude, hey dude, where's my car?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, where's my car?
Yeah.
It's like if that. It's same feel, same idea, just more horror based.
Yes. Yeah, for
Which
sure.
I love Dude, Where's My Car? It's such a funny movie. We have Vivica A. Fox as Debbie LeCure.
Oh, she was the best.
She did so good.
Love
I
her.
forgot she was in this movie completely.
Yeah.
Totally forgot. We have Jack Noseworthy as Randy.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget, he went on, they did some other stuff too. Nothing
Sure.
major, but it's... Yeah. Christopher Hart plays the Hand.
Right.
Who also did the Hand for
The
Thing.
Thing, yeah.
In Added Family. Good for him.
Amazing.
Steve Van Warmer as Curtis. I don't know who that is.
Curtis.
I think he's one of the cops. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Sure.
And Fred Willard
Yes.
as Mr. Tobias.
Fred Willard.
Fred fucking Willard.
Love him. Rip. Love him.
Yes, that's
I know.
right. He passed
Rip.
away. So sad. And Offspring as themselves.
Yeah, of course. Good cast.
It is a pretty good cast.
Pretty green.
Oh, and Katie Wright is Tanya.
Pardon?
Katie Wright is Tanya.
Okay.
She's the devil dress girl near the end.
Oh.
She's Molly's friend.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
That was good. Yeah. I remember now.
We just watched like an hour ago.
I was gonna get some. No, you weren't.
Yeah, it was. Want to go back for a piece?
Oh, yeah, no, it was fun. It was a fun movie. It was like when I think of a horror comedy, this is exactly what I think of.
Really. They really, even I would call it more of a comedy horror.
Yeah,
because
totally.
comedy is the first and foremost on this movie.
Absolutely.
It starts off, it tries to be horror, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the beginning. I was like, all right, we're spooky. I love it.
Yep.
There's something in the house, that whole sort of feel. I'm in.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it's a teenager stoner movie. Even better.
Again, 90s.
Yeah.
It's a pure...
So 90s.
Well, and I described it, I forget how to describe it. It was a 90s stoner, rock, nudity movie.
Well, and like you can tell because there's lots of like politically incorrect things that they say. Like they call each other not nice things that you wouldn't be able to say in polite conversation these days. And I was like, this is 90s. This has to be 90s. That was like the first indication. I'm like, you can't say that to people anymore. But it's fine. Like, again, it's a product of the times. They were not doing it to be offensive. Everybody called everybody else these, like, what they say in the movie. It's fine. It's not like they're dropping N-bombs or anything. It's just very much a product of the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, every time it's just like, it just hits me because it's like, oh, you don't hear that anymore, you know?
Yeah,
like when they call each other gay or whatever, it's like, okay, but, sir, why? Oh, but no, it's funny. And they smoke, like, weed out of everything. At one point, Panub even smokes weed out of his own head. Like, it's bizarre. It's funny. Yep, it's a good watch.
It is. Like I said, it's a stoner comedy. It's a bunch of genres thrown together.
Yeah. Yes.
And yeah.
And there's like, exactly like you said, like stoner, comedy, zombies, devil, like the devil, whatever, the hand, and
it's almost in the same area as Grandma's Boy.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Not as funny.
I felt that way watching it, 100%.
Yeah. Although I think Grandma's Boy had more comedy.
Well, of course. Yeah, it's like a pure comedy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But we already did a talk about a review of Grandma's Boy. Please check it out.
Yeah. It's a good one.
But it's such a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so is this one.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think it's got its own charm. It's got its own character. It's a good movie.
Yeah, you don't get to watch a lot of movies like this anymore. Like just dorky horror comedies.
Doesn't
like even Psycho Gorman didn't hit like this, and that was, I would call it a horror comedy-ish.
Yes.
More horror than comedy. But movies just like this don't get made anymore.
No.
Probably, and again, like this one even did shit in the box office. So why would they ever?
That's why.
Exactly.
And also I think the stoner comedies kind of run its course.
I think so too. It's not cool anymore.
It'll come back again.
Well, now weed's legal.
Yeah.
In Canada, anyways, where we are, weed is legal.
Yeah.
Most states it is now too. It's just like.
But also, like, you know, the movie genres.
Yep.
Like
agreed.
The focus on is in waves.
Yeah.
Like years ago, it was the zombies.
Right. Well, I was gonna say even this one, like when we talk about it not doing well, this is right before that early 2000s rush of like teenage horror movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when the zombie craze kicked in with.
Yeah, it was just a couple years before its time.
Yes.
If it came out in like 2002, 2003, I think it would have done way better.
I think so.
Which is why it has such a cult following now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
I love it. I would do.
Yeah.
This is one of my guilty flicks. Just because.
See, and I hadn't even heard of it, except that I was.
Okay. We gotta skip that completely. Where did you first hear about this movie?
Well, I was going through a list of like the best horror movies to like make up our rubric of what we watch, and this movie was on it. as one of the best horror movies. And I was like, okay. So, like, I've heard the saying, you know, idle hands are, like, you know, do the devil's work. So I was like, oh, it's going to be so spooky scary. No. 0% was I was expecting. We rented it on YouTube. And when I went to rent it, I was like, Nick, is this the right movie? Like,
well, the picture is very weird.
Yeah.
And yet,
it's just a bunch of teenagers hanging out. And I'm like,
and yet here's off Wikipedia. Yeah. Like, this is a much better, and this is even the
no, that's not what I saw.
And I'll even show you the picture, of the original trailer, the poster that I saw.
Yeah.
Which I thought was way better.
Sure.
But yeah, I remember seeing the trailer.
Yeah.
They mentioned Offspring. I'm like, okay, I love Offspring.
Yeah, we love some Offspring.
And the one line from Seth Green, which is in the trailer, he has a turkey cutter.
Yeah.
Electric turkey cutter.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, check it out. I'm Leatherface. Runs at him, and the cord pops out. And he stops. He's like, oh. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah,
like,
it's so cute. Oh.
So funny.
No, yeah, the poster that I saw was like all of them like huddled together like it's some sort of like teenage show. I was like, I don't think that this is right. Like, is there another Idle Hands? Like, there's no way.
I think there is. Yeah, here. This is the one I've seen is basically you have the main characters and you got a hand ripping away.
That's exactly what I saw. And I was like, this isn't right. Like, it looks... See, but I didn't even get to see that. I just saw, like, a bunch... Like, it looks like a rom-com.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
It kind of is.
It is. I was like, okay, well, this is not the right movie. So then I start scrolling down, and then I see, like, Idle Hands, scariest parts. And then I looked, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the right movie. Weird.
You know what? I think you're saying that if it was released later, it would do better.
Yeah.
And you were 100% right. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you an example. Warm Bodies.
Yes.
Warm Bodies was a rom-com zom.
Yeah.
A zom rom-com.
A zom rom-com.
A zom rom-com. And it did great. I saw it in theaters. I thought
I liked it.
It was a great movie. It was a great idea. I love the idea of he eats brains. He gets their memories.
Yeah.
And even had a bit of the horror element with the decayed.
Yeah.
I forget the name for the really zombies.
The scary ones. Yeah.
Yes, the scary zombies. I even had like a cure for zombies. I'm like, okay.
Well, I even think of like, Love,
that did great.
Love cures zombies.
Yes, but that movie did very, very, very well.
Yeah. Well, even Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
That's early 2000s.
Oh, I love Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean, is that this movie, like, it just came out at an awkward time for horror movies.
Yes.
That's all. Yeah. Like, it's not bad.
Well, like 99 also had American Pie.
Yes, 100%.
And
which is all about smoking and sex and drinking and all that stuff. Yeah.
And that one worked because it focused mostly on the comedy.
Yes.
With Idle Hands, they tried to mix in the horror with the comedy, which, in my opinion, it worked.
For sure.
But it was also very campy.
Yes.
And same was American Pie, but it also had, I don't know, it worked. Mm-hmm. Their plot worked.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare the two because they're two very, very, very different movies.
Yeah.
But they got the same core base of fundamentals of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is, drugs, drinking, and all that crap.
Yeah, exactly.
So, which I saw. I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, still a fun movie. I appreciated it. I'm glad we watched it.
Yeah, and like I said, I
liked it more than
I first saw the trailer. I didn't see it in theaters. Mm-hmm. I ended up renting it, but I laughed my
I was
ass off.
but a wee lad when it came out, so I wouldn't have been allowed to see it. I couldn't even watch The Simpsons. I would never have been allowed to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Goodness gracious.
I remember when my mom had a anti-Simpsons tirade once. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's not that bad. Just chill.
It's not. Especially when you watch it now. It's like...
Same with...
So mild.
Beavis and Butthead. Like, you don't watch that show. I'm like, we don't have the damn channel model. I'd say, damn, we don't have the channel model. How can I watch it? Good. Don't watch it. So that made me want to watch it more.
Yeah. Yes. It's that reverse psychology shit.
Mm-hmm. I knew about it, but I couldn't watch it because we didn't have much music.
Yep, right.
And that's what it was on. It was on Much Music. Or MTV, I guess, back in the day. Back when they played music.
Back in
R.I.P. Terrible.
Music's still on MTV. It's in the song. Well, should we get into the plot?
Let's get into the plot.
Plot.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Tobias are settling into bed when they notice a message on the ceiling and hear a noise from outside. It's also Halloween. Mm-hmm. And it says, I'm under the bed.
Yes.
And like it's glowing like with black light or something.
Yes.
Mr. Tobias goes to check what the noise was, while Mrs. Tobias calls the police. Mm-hmm. But she gets dragged under the bed and killed. Also, the dad gets killed. We hear him kind of rumbling around.
Sweet Gary.
Yeah.
Fred Willard.
Love it.
Aww.
So funny. Mm-hmm. And she goes down, she finds him dead. She runs up the stairs and gets dragged under the bed and dead. Dead. Their lazy stoner son, Anton, hasn't noticed their disappearance in 7 days.
Yes.
It's been 7 days? I thought it was like 2 or 3.
Well, he says it's only been a couple, but it's been like a week.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
One morning, Anton runs out of weed and goes to his friend Punub's house to get some more. But he says he's ran out of weed too. Mm-hmm. And it's funny. Just how he sleeps in the attic. He's out of, I think he's out of school. Or he's in like maybe high school.
Yeah.
He has to be high school.
Yeah.
School to dance. And yeah, if you go to school, you know this. So these are teens.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just throws on a shirt, boxers on, and like just like slippers.
Yeah.
And he goes into his buddy's place through their basement window. Punub and his other friend Mick suggest that Anton should go and talk to his neighbor Molly, the girl that he likes. He sees Molly dropped her lyrics book and goes to return it, but he ends up being pretty awkward.
He like shoves it at her and she's like,
yeah.
Oh, my lyrics book, thank you. And then he just like yeets out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny.
Anton goes home and makes himself a sandwich with a bloody knife.
Oh,
and notices the knife he's using is covered in blood. And his cat Bones playing with an eyeball.
Yep.
And also there's on the radio, TV, everyone's talking about this is the killer.
Yep, the serial killer.
The serial killer, yes.
Yep.
Who's killed 4 times in the town already. Mm-hmm. Running in a panic, he trips and finds his parents' corpses. Mick and Punub, they also are set up as like decorations.
Yeah, like jack-o'-lantern.
Jack-o'-lanterns on their heads. Mick and Punub show up, and Anton shows them the bodies after they see this music video.
Yep.
Which they ignore the bodies.
Yeah, they walk right to the TV and start like dancing.
Some little coochie, show me the coochie, shake the coochie.
Yeah.
So funny.
Oh my god.
And Anton shows them the bodies. Then they figure out that the killer is Anton, because his hand has reflective stuff on it. Mick tries to call 911, but Anton pulls out the phone cord and claims that he isn't the killer. But he murders Mick with a glass bottle to the head. He just takes it, smashes it and stabs him to his head.
And this is like before we know what's going on, and it looks like he literally just like doesn't even think about it, just cracks this bottle and murders him, and you're like, oh my god, like why?
Yeah, he kind of stumbles out.
Like they're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Anton promises Punub that he didn't mean to do it, but they find out Anton's hand is possessed.
Yes.
His hand chases Punub into the basement and tries to stop his hand so Punub can escape. But his hand overpowers him and decapitates Punub. He throws a saw
like
blade.
Chainsaw, or not chainsaw, saw blade, yeah.
Just
like
go
a
right
circular saw, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool, yeah.
Oh, it's a great scene. I see, when I first saw this, I thought he threw a CD at him.
Interesting.
I thought it was a CD. Why I thought it was a CD, I don't know, but
it would have been more impressive.
It would have been. It was 1999.
Yes.
They were a big thing then. It was
yes. CDs. Everything was CD-ROM.
That's right.
Love it.
Also, nope, we'll come up to that later on. So I'll get to Fox's character about.
Yes.
It's done away here. Anton's hand throws Bones out the window, and he goes look for him because he kind of freaks out.
Yep.
He freaks out. He kind of sits down. He puts on cartoons to kind of distract him. The hand switches over to some scary horror movie on.
Yes.
They fight over it. Anton kind of wins with the remote, but then the hand grabs the cat by the tail.
Yes.
Spins it around and yeets out the window.
Out the window. And it just goes, and it's like,
smack.
Yeah. Then he's like walks out the door. He's like, Bones. Yeah. And the cat's just hissing at him.
The hand pulls him onto Molly's porch and rings her doorbell.
Yes.
Molly takes Anton into her room to make out, but her parents come home so Anton leaves as he pulls his friend's pants up.
Yeah. And she's not wearing a shirt anymore.
No.
Ow, ow.
Well, she was. I thought she
was not. She was wearing an overcoat.
Oh, they're doing second bases. He had his pants down.
He did.
They're doing some tansy touchies.
Heck yeah.
And she's a slut. Sorry, she's really. And that means to slut shame anyone,
yeah.
but she was quite promiscuous.
She's very forward.
Very provocative.
Forward,
yes.
yeah.
She was all open door, and she
just
must
the
have
girl
a thing
next
for
door.
him.
Yeah.
And they were kind of talking like, I'd be embarrassed. I kind of get that. And possessed hand goes right for the ass.
Yep.
Good. He gets a good cheek full.
Yeah.
Pinky in the crack. He went for it. She's like, hey.
Yeah.
She laughed it off.
And we're both, Nick and I look at each other. It's like, I would slap somebody.
I'm like, nowadays that's macing.
Yeah.
That's,
yes.
But you got some balls to grab my ass like that. I like that. And as they're making out, his hand's trying to grab her and choke her, and
and she's like, ah.
Yeah, and he ends up tying his hand. She's like, "You're kinky." I'm like, "Yep, 90s."
Yep.
90s. Okay.
Yep.
So
where consent was optional.
Yes. Well, she was all for it. She was.
Yeah.
So parents come home. Anton leaves. Anton buries his friends and parents' corpses in his backyard.
Yes.
Which never got resolved.
Does the stupidest prayer ever. Or I forget what he says. Like, oh, I didn't mean to do this. And I'm going to try to make it right. And, amen.
But Mick and Penub come back as zombies and knock him out.
Oh, which is so funny.
Yeah.
Which I was so sad when they died because I was like, no, I don't want this to be all that they're in the movie for. I want more. So I was so jazzed when they came back to life. It's like, thank fuck. Because you were like, oh, Seth Green, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, don't leave me.
No. Meanwhile, a druidic high priestess named Debbie Lecure is the one police guy called her Liquor or something.
Yes.
It's Lecure.
Yeah.
Is hunting the spirit responsible for killings across the country. After his hand kills 2 cops in his living room. Oh, geez, I just jumped ahead there. We see that she tracked it to some guy in a jail cell.
Yeah.
And she looks and see the hands all withered up and just squished and mummified.
Yeah.
It's like it jumped, crap. And she goes into her, taking off her nun costume, all that.
Yeah, she sister act them.
Yeah, she puts all the X on the map. She kind of makes a little design of a pentagram.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, there it is. Mm-hmm. And so Anton also, he goes shopping to get dog food for his dog.
Yes.
Because when he first comes downstairs, he's like, Mom, we're out of milk. Mom, we're out of dog food. So he goes and gets milk and dog food.
Yeah.
But 2 cops kind of harass him and give him a $200 ticket for an empty bag.
Which, he knew them from school. They were seniors while he was a freshman.
Yes. There's a lot of things in the movie that if they didn't, if they took out scenes, that would have been more sense.
Yes.
Like when he ended up, killing the police, Penub yells, go, go, beavers, or something like that.
Yeah.
Which was, I guess, they dress up as beavers, and that's their chant.
Oh.
There's a lot of things they just kind of left out, which is too bad, because it would make sense.
Yeah.
But they basically harass him. He gets back home. That would be actually later on, before, because he wakes up after, and then his buddies are back. He thinks it's a dream.
Yeah.
So, he wakes up, comes downstairs, finds out they're still alive. Well, not alive, they're dead, they're zombies.
Yeah.
And
they're like, oh, he's like, oh, you guys are alive. They're like, well, we're not, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And Mick is throwing cheese puffs into Penub's mouth. It's so funny.
Yeah, he's catching them.
Yeah.
It's a great effect.
It is.
It's a video cut effect.
Yeah.
We're listening to
for all
Rob
that
Zombie.
yes.
Awesome.
for all that they used, like, Penub's head, like, when it wasn't attached and it's not obviously, like, the actor, it looked okay.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, when they beheaded him and he was coming back to life, I was like, oh, shit. Like, you know, it's usually not great.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It was well done.
I was impressed. Yeah.
Yeah, so the two cops show up because of the noise disturbance. Because
Yeah.
he goes and talks to his, I'll say friend. He asks Randy for help.
Yes.
Who's a guy, I guess, down the street, his neighbor, who's all about satanic music, all that. He asks him, what do I do? He's like, well, idle hands or devil's playthings. What does that mean? Keep him busy.
Yep.
So he starts knitting. And
Yes.
he thinks that's going to help.
Yeah.
And so he has that going. He has a lot of music to keep him occupied. The two police guys show up because of the noise complaint and look and they see Anton and the two dead guys and his two dead buddies.
Right.
And so they go in and they try and arrest him. And Anton's like, yo, good idea, arrest me, put in jail. It'll save me from hurting people.
Yes.
And he's like, cuff me.
Yeah.
He rips the
Cuff
one.
me. Put the needles down. Cuff me. Put the needles down. And it goes
Cuff me,
back
cuff
and
me,
forth.
cuff me.
Yeah.
And he pulls the one needle out and right through the one
guy's ear.
basically through his head.
Oh,
ear, one,
really?
In one ear, out the other.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I'm sure that went in the ear because that was squelchy.
Yeah.
Blech, all
And
that
he takes the
soft
taser
tissue.
and tases the guy in the face, kills him.
Yeah.
And kills him.
Woo.
After his hand kills two cops in his living room, Anton cuts it off with a cleaver.
Mm-hmm.
Again, then this
oh
is...
my god. And he tries to use the bagel cutter.
Yes.
It's so funny. And
Doesn't
Penub
work.
is like, what are you doing? That won't even cut a bagel. Why are...
Slide
and
it
it's
down
just
and
this
bends.
super anticlimactic. Like,
Yeah.
he tries and it literally just bounces off of him.
That's where he gets Mick to get the turkey cutter.
Yes, yes.
And he's like, not her face. And it just... The cord's too short.
Yeah.
So he grabs a cleaver. He's trying to hit his hand. It's not working. He gets Penub to bite down and hold his hand still.
Yeah. With his decapitated head.
Yep, and just slice it off.
Mm-hmm.
And Mick, being the smart one, grabs iron and cauterizes his stump.
Yeah, his stump.
Yeah. Penub and Mick seek out a first aid kit while Anton traps a hand in a microwave, burning it.
Yes.
Because he kind of scrolls on the floor. I forget what he writes. He writes something.
Yeah. What is it? I forget.
I do too.
Yeah. Shit.
But
It's in my head. I can see it.
It's like, I'm free now or something.
Yeah.
And so he gets in the microwave, burning it, think it's dead. He then goes to the party because Molly's
there.
at the door, and he finally goes with her. Meanwhile, Debbie, now along with Randy, Anton's neighbor, hunts Anton down to put a stop to the possessed hand.
Mm-hmm.
She gets hit by the truck.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't. This is after. Because they go to the school and he says, nope, we gotta go back and do something first. He has to go get rid of the hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. After sending Molly to the school dance, Anton returns home to finish off the hand. Unfortunately, Penub and Mick inadvertently release the hand.
To make a burrito.
Yeah. They need to make a burrito. Also, Mick gets pissed off with Penub just kind of head just kind of laying there, so he grabs a long fork thing, jabs one into his head.
It's a barbecue fork.
A barbecue fork, yes.
Yeah.
And basically puts that on his head and then duct tapes around.
Yep.
Because he's trying to eat and it kind of oozes out. He's like,
Yes, exactly. And it's like beans oozing out his throat. He's like,
yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. And the hand flies out and it goes into his room.
Yes.
The three then steal Randy's truck and head to the school.
Yeah, and this is when they're backing out of the driveway.
They left a lot on this Wikipedia.
Yeah.
They're backing out, and Liqueur is trying to stop, get his attention. Anton. They back into her, knock her out, kind of kill her, and they drive off. Randy gives her some mouth to mouth, brings her back to life.
Yep.
And they chase after him.
Yes.
And then you see the hand. There's this couple at the party in the car, getting a little handsy on them.
Getting a little touchy-feely.
Yeah, she takes her top off, her boobs.
Boobs.
That's a Horr-Gasm right there.
Yep.
And It's funny because the guy is going down, both hands on her boobs, the severed hand is going up the middle.
Yeah.
And just squeezing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, come on, like he would notice because there's a hand grabbing his.
Yeah.
And she looks down, screams, it chokes her, it breaks her neck.
Yeah.
He tries to get away and it kills him.
Yeah. And like we don't even see much. It's just like we see from the outside of the car, and it's just like blood.
It smacks his head once,
Yeah.
it pulls him back, and then just blood splurts.
Blood. Yeah.
So, Randy and Debbie meet up with Anton. Debbie explains that the hand will drag Molly's soul into another world tonight.
Yes.
To hell. Fuck this. Again, this is bad Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Anton crashes the dance and tries to warn everyone about his hand, but is ignored. We also see the principal get killed.
Yes. Yes.
After trying to get his car, his car wasn't working for an old 90s sex line.
Yes.
Which is hilarious.
And it's so funny. It's like this scene was so ridiculous, but good.
It works. It's again 90s.
Yeah.
His car went through, and he's like, "Oh yes, you're a naughty girl. I want to spank your bottom with a ruler."
Yeah. And
as he's talking, his hands are going down, doing stuff.
Yeah.
And the hand is crawling up his pant leg.
Yeah.
And he's still talking to Wayne. He's like, "Oh, you're so hot. It's like I can feel you're here with me. I feel like I can feel you here. Your hands on me." He looks down.
I can feel you.
Yeah. And the hand pops out of his pants, and it just kind of starts digging into his stomach.
Yeah.
Killing him.
Yes.
It's a nice, interesting death. You don't see it too much,
yeah.
but that's cool. Then you see it also using the pencil sharpener to sharpen its fingers.
Fingers, yeah.
Like it goes down, like it's sharpening the bone.
Yep.
Which I thought that was a great little scene.
It's creepy, yeah. Makes it look creepier now that it's like burnt and got pointy fingertips. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Bleh.
So also at the dance, Pinub goes and dances with Tanya, which is Molly's best friend.
Yep.
Molly's dressed as Angel.
Yep.
And Tanya's dressed up as Devil.
Yeah. Because contrast.
That's right. And the hand then scalps the band's lead singer and causes a panic.
Yep.
Molly and her friend Tanya escape through the vents. They attempt to go through a fan, which they have stopped with Tanya's shoe, but Tanya gets hung on the rope. Wow. Okay. More discussion here. Basically, Tanya has like a whip.
Yep.
Along with her, and Molly, showing a bit of smarts, using it to get down onto the floor.
Yeah, to lower herself down. Well, she like they said, she uses her foot to wedge between the fan. Yeah, just shoe. To wedge between the fan and like a piece of metal so it doesn't move.
Yeah.
And yes, and then they use the whip to Molly lowers herself down. And Tanya's freaking out. She's like, "No, I can't do it. I can't do it." And she's like, "You have to." And so she's gonna do it, and then the hand comes and
it pulls the rope up. It's like,
yeah.
why'd you pull the rope up? It's like, I didn't. And it wraps the cord around her neck.
Yeah.
And she jumps down and kind of hangs herself.
Yes.
And as she's trying, to fight off being hung, the hand moves the shoe, and she gets pulled up and gets chop sueyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see anything.
Nope.
We see some blood splatter.
Which disappointing, but they also had to get that rating, so I feel it. I'm
So,
always sympathetic because I know they got to get the rating to get it even watchable. So, womp womp.
Yeah. Walla tries to pull Tanya off the fan, and Anton's hand is up removing Tanya's shoe, allowing her to be pulled to her death in the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Molly then runs into the art room, causing her to get knocked out, which is again just very, very goofy and slapstick, where she runs in, like it smacks her in the head with some pottery. Ow! And down she goes. It's so goofy.
Yeah.
Anton enters and fights with the hand while it's inside a puppet, but it escapes to the auto shop. That's fun. That's a good scene too.
It's good.
It's got the perfect puppet design too.
Yep.
Where Molly is strapped to the car in her bra and panties. Bullshit. She's in her costume, and Anton pulls the dress off.
The tulle off of her, dress.
Yeah, this guy didn't watch the movie very closely. No. Being raised towards the ceiling, which the ceiling has a pentagram.
Yep.
Anton, Mick, and Pinub fight with the hand over the controls. Mick finds a mechanic's bong, which was very well done.
Oh, yes.
It's got like a muffler turned into a giant bong with three 3 ways to get the hits off.
Yes. It's nice.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Mick finds Pinup, and he and Pinup smoke for strength because Pinup eats his spinach.
Yes.
Anton then gets an idea and blows some smoke into the hand, still inside the hand puppet, until it drops controls and they save Molly.
And she's like about to get smushed into the ceiling, and she's like looks over and she's like, I'm about to die and you're getting high with your friends. Oh.
So funny.
Yeah.
Debbie throws a ritual knife into the we got back up here. Let's just skip to Debbie runs into Anton and she's fighting with him. She's trying to stab him to kill the hand. Which
she's
is
like, oh, I can help, rid you of this. And he's like, really, you can? How is that? And she's like, by killing you.
Yeah. And the Rand who's with her is all about because Anton stole his prized precious truck.
Yes, exactly.
And they find out that he cuts her off. He's like, oh, you fool, what have you done? He's like, well, you have to shoot. You killed me now. She's like, yeah, okay. So you find out you got to stab the hand with the ritual knife.
Which is like the most stereotypical ritual knife. It's like got a fancy handle and it's all like wavy and like any.
Again, 90s.
Yes.
And the hand jumps at him. Debbie throws a ritual knife into the hand, stopping in a puff of smoke and fire. Mm-hmm. What really happened? She threw the knife, hits the hand, and it stabs into Mick's chest. And then it goes a little poof, smoke, done. He's like, what, that's it?
That's it?
It is very anticlimactic,
It's like no sizzling, no explosion, no
Yeah. It's like, that's lame.
Yeah.
After she and Randy take off for ritualistic sex.
Yes. Yeah, she's like, all right, now it's time for the ritualistic sex. Are you in? And he's like,
Randy's oh.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then as they leave, he like growls at her. I'm like, so gross.
Yeah. Anton releases Molly from the top of the car. They go under the car and start making out. In the process of lighting the bong for Mick, Pinup accidentally hits the controls for the car, and Anton is crushed by the car.
Yes. Of course.
And as that happens, the garage door opens, and Mick and Pinup go to heaven.
Yes.
Because they help save the day.
Exactly.
And you see Mick, or is it Pinup, look back, you coming, Anton?
Yeah.
And we cut to, in the film's conclusion, Anton is in a body cast in the hospital.
Yeah.
Having given up heaven to stay with Molly. And Mick and Pinup are now his guardian angels. When he is left alone in his room, Anton looks up and sees the message, I am under the bed.
Yes.
Which is like the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
Written on the ceiling. Mick and Pinup walk down the hall, pondering if they should tell Anton they were the ones who wrote the message. Mm-hmm. But decide against it, laughing.
Yeah.
The end.
Burn. Also, when Molly is like there taking care of him or whatever, she's like, so you turned down heaven so you can kick it with me?
Yeah.
It's like the most 90s phrase I've heard in so long.
Oh, yes. I'm so glad I went to the 90s. I lived in the 90s.
I know. See, and that's why I grew up in the 90s. Like, I was born in 91, so it's like I got the full 90s experience.
Yes.
Oh, she was
I got born 84.
Yeah, but you got, you were alive.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was there. I was watching the Edison Twins in the 80s.
Yes.
I was in the age of Denver Last Dinosaur, where neon was not a color, it was a fashion.
It was everything.
I remember having neon crayons and everything.
Well, I got all your hand-me-downs, so I got all the neon clothes.
Yep.
Yeah, all
Loved
the
it.
neon clothes,
Loved
the jackets, the shorts, the everything,
Loved
the hats.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We lived for neon and geometric patterns. Why?
It was the 80s.
Cool, man.
It was the 80s. That's how things were.
It was totally tubular.
Yep.
That's all.
Excellent.
Well, what would you rate this?
This is a 4.
Yeah.
4 or 5. So I'm going to break down the stars again.
Ready.
1-star boobs. 1-star music. This had a rockin' soundtrack.
Oh my God, the soundtrack was so good.
Such a good soundtrack.
We knew every song.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I didn't recognize the Coochie one, but that's fine. Which I'm surprised they're playing it on MTV. 1 star goes to the acting.
Yep,
as
definitely.
corny as it is, they made it fun.
It was.
And they were having fun. 100% they're having fun. And last star goes to the gore. Because it was it was well done. It was very practical. When they're trying to reattach Pinup's head, you could tell it's animatronic.
Of course.
But it looked real enough.
Yeah.
And whatever, that's fine. But some of the kills were very inventive. The out of the pants one was funny.
Yeah.
The decapitation with the saw blade was good.
Mm-hmm.
The very Evil Dead 2 cutting off the hand and putting it in the microwave. Well, that ended up on the Evil Dead remake, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think it was.
Sure.
I think. I it's been a while since I've seen that, but the same idea.
Yep.
With the turkey cutter and all
Yes.
that. I love the humor. The stoner humor is always funny to me.
Totally.
Jessica Alba did a great job. She played the great ditzy
teen. Yeah. She didn't have to have a personality.
No.
Like, she just had to vibe.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And she did very well with that.
She did, yeah.
The guy who played Penub, he did great. Seth Green already talked
Always
in essence
amazing.
about him.
Yeah.
Anton, he went on to do Final Destination, which was
He's in a bunch of stuff. I just don't watch anything he's in. Like, it's not my cup of tea. Yeah.
But everyone, the main cast are all doing something, which is
totally.
awesome.
Yeah.
Vivica Fox, she went on. She was in Kill Bill.
Yeah. She's in a bunch of stuff.
She's had a great career too.
Yeah.
Like this was a good kind of a meeting point for just these actors, these characters.
It's good.
It was a good one. I enjoyed it. It's a guilty pleasure for me.
Totally.
Is it scary? No. But it has enough horror element to make it a horror movie.
Yeah, and I'd probably give it a 3 for exactly that reason. Because it's just not scary. Like, the beginning was promising. I was like, all right, let's fuck shit up. And then I was like, it didn't go anywhere. Like, it went with it, but it was, like, not as much as I thought. You don't really see a lot of anything except Penub and Mick's death, which is fine. But it was like, oh, okay, that's fair. And I guess you see the policeman, but it's like, you know, it was fun, though. Like, I enjoyed this. I would watch this movie again, you know? Like it's fun.
When Mick and Penub are going... Because also, Penub is dancing with Tanya, and he's like, I'm going to get some. Like, it doesn't make sense. You're dead. It's against the law in at least, 7 states. And they chase after him through the vents, and Mick gets the bottle stuck.
Yes. Oh, my
like,
God, when they're crawling through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's corny. It's funny, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's so good.
Yes.
And even, like, you can tell that their buddies are bros.
Yeah.
They're trying to look out for Anton, and like he's asking, "What about this killing? What about curfew?" Like, man, if you go to school, you would know this instead of going home and getting high. And when he's asking about, we should cut off your left hand, make sure too. He's like, no, just the right one. Left hand, I do all my dope. I'll leave a little tension.
Yeah.
And it's just drinking off motion. Like.
Yeah,
it's funny.
It is.
It's all funny, good humor.
Yes.
It's nothing too lewd.
No.
Nothing too suggestive. Like you said, they do. The terminology is very of the times.
Yes.
But
nothing that like anybody would get canceled for. It's just not things that you would say in play
90s
conversation.
It's
yeah,
90s
exactly. Right. We've moved past that. It's 2021.
Yeah.
But you can still laugh about it.
Well, you can.
And not get canceled. You know what I mean?
Because it's in good taste.
Exactly.
There's good and bad taste of these things.
And again, like we keep saying, it was of the time. Like it was so normal.
Yes.
You watch any movie of this time period with teenagers, that's what it was. 100%.
Even the 80s.
Yeah.
Like 80s is the same way with Porky's, with the Breakfast Club.
Yep.
Like,
absolutely. Yep. Yes.
Yeah. I think it's a great movie.
Good movie.
No.
Kill the Flick.
Kill the Flick. Now.
Kill the Flick. I forget.
It's Penub's decapitation.
Yes.
Penub getting his head cut off by a saw blade being thrown. It's a great scene. Great effect.
Yes.
You see him run up the stairs. You see the saw blade go up. He's like kind of a gurgle, kind of a struggle
whimper,
to breathe.
yeah.
Whimper. His head falls back off. lands at Anton's feet. He's like, cool. And he's dead, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's a very classic decapitation.
Yep.
But it's done well. It's done right, and it throws in a bit of the comedic twist at the end.
Totally.
So that works.
It's
And
fun.
it even adds on to the character when he comes back to life because he walks around with his head like a
For a
football.
bit,
Yep. Then they kind of stick it on there. As he's dancing, he has one hand on his head.
On his head, yeah.
And
Whenever
even
they're
tells-
running, he has a hand on
Yes.
his head just in case.
And when he's like, you want to dance? Tanya, when she's like, want to dance? Like, yeah, but careful, it's still loose. Like, it's so funny.
It is.
It works so well.
Yeah.
Even like the hand, like you can tell.
The hand acting
Yes.
is so good.
He did a fantastic job given that personality.
Yeah.
And that's not easy to do.
No, and like it looks like even how he moves it, and it's very jerky and it's always moving, and it's like you can tell that it's like not a part of him.
Yes.
It's so interesting.
Like when he's having the first makeout scene part with Molly, he grabs her neck, he kind of forces it away, it's on her shoulder, and he kind of does the tap, the finger tap, like, fuck, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Try it again. Nope, he ties it up. And again, it taps.
Yeah.
It's impatient, it's unhappy, it has personality.
Yes.
Which works. Again, that's why this guy does such a great job. You can tell when the puppet is in the puppet, it's his hand. It's his hand using the puppet.
For sure.
But it's such a good job.
It is. Yeah.
Such a good job.
Yeah.
It has earned its 4 stars. The acting did fantastic.
Yes.
Fred Willard did a great job. He had a small role, but he was great
Still
in
good.
it. Even when we didn't tell also when Anton first thinks the killer's in the house.
Yes, right.
He runs upstairs. He saves the dog.
Yeah, as you do.
I forget the dog's name, but
Duke,
come here. And he saves
Dookie.
He jumps into his parents' bed, covers the shoes with them. Dude, come on. Covers the dog too.
Yeah.
And they're hiding in there.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're waiting. What do we do? Look at the phone. And then he pushes Duke out first. And poor Duke. He was not like, well, he was because he had a red rocket.
Yeah.
But just so you know, he's being pushed out. Like,
Aww.
it works so well.
Yes. Yep.
I almost want to give it an extra star, but it's not Fifth Element material. But it's such a good movie. I do encourage, give it a watch.
Yeah. I'm glad we watched it.
It's goofy, it's funny, it's got the horror feel to it.
Yes.
But give her a shot.
Definitely.
It's
worth it.
It's totally worth it.
As somebody who watched it for the first time, totally worth it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And next week,
Frozen.
We're watching Frozen, thank you. Not the
Disney one.
Not the Disney one.
We are not going to go build a snowman.
Scary one.
Yes.
I mean, we could build a snowman. It's a little cold.
It's too cold for snowman.
Too cold.
We need warm weather.
Yeah, but we're going to watch Frozen. I don't know anything about this movie.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
It looks great. Basically, what would happen if you got trapped on a ski lift?
Oh,
overnight?
You're right. We've talked about this before.
Yes.
My brother-in-law's seen it, and he said it was so scary. He's like, you'd think it wouldn't be, but it is so creepy. And I was like, all right, let's go watch.
And you know what? When I've skied only a few times, snowboarded.
Same. Yeah.
And this one time, it was in BC. Was it in BC? Had to be.
Mm-hmm.
BC, Alberta. Yeah, it was. It was around. It was actually in Banff. It was in Banff.
Sure.
We did the ski lift, all that, and I'm like, I don't like heights. What if I fall?
And
what if I get
you
stuck
are
up here?
not in.
Oh no!
Like you're just sitting there with a flimsy bar.
We don't even have the bar. We just sat there. It came around. We kind of sit down. You hold on, make sure you're comfortable, and away you go.
See, we always had a bar. It was like an auto bar, but you're not touching it.
Oh no!
Like it stressed me out. I'm like, I was like, the first time I went, I was like, I don't know, 12, and I was like, I could literally slip right through this.
Yeah, and even getting off was hard.
Yes.
Because you had to, if you're on skis, you could kind of push yourself off and go forward. But on a snowboard, you had to kind of, same thing. And
just get down and then strap yourself in.
I fell down.
Yeah, I believe you.
And then people were coming. I kind of tried to avoid getting squished, and then I crawled away. So
the crawl of shame. We've all been there.
I crawled away.
We've all been there.
I'm pretty sure I bruised my tailbone that trip too.
Yes.
I had a very, very sore bum after.
Oh yeah, boy. You fall a lot.
Oh, on snowboards, yeah.
Ugh. Even when I ski, I fall a lot.
You know what? I might this year. I'd like to try and take a trip to Optimist Park.
Sure.
And do some snowboarding. That'd be fun.
Yeah, do something for sure.
I've done it for a while, but I know the basics.
Totally.
It's not like skiing where you go pizza fries. It's very slide on your back.
Yes.
And then front. Like,
I'm not nearly stable enough for snowboarding.
I'm not flexible if I'm thinking to do that. But whatever, it'd be fun just to hurt myself.
Oh well. What else do we do?
But next week, Frozen. It's gonna be.
We won't be building snowmen. We'll be scared on the snow lift.
Yes, and also, we're going to talk about during Talking Chop. This is kind of rare because our Talking Chops are kind of whatever we want to talk about. But on Talking Chop, we're going to talk about Nisar, also known as Elves.
Yeah. Which
is a 6-episode series on Netflix. Mm-hmm. It is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
I really encourage everyone to check it out. Give it a watch. It's on Netflix.
Yep.
It's called Elves, also called Nisar. It's a Norwegian, Swedish, I think it's Norwegian film. Very, very, very good. We're going to be discussing that in Talking Chop.
Woo! So watch it beforehand. Join us for that. Yay.
If you have Amazon Prime, Frozen is on that. Please give it a watch.
Oh, is it?
And, oh, yes.
Oh, dope.
Oh, yes. I double-checked because I forgot about... I own it out of hand. I forgot at home.
Meh. That's fine.
Oops.
But thank you so much for joining us this week. This episode was brought to you by our executive producer, Ichabod, and our head of talent relations, Anarchy. We hope you enjoyed your Horr-Gasm as much as we did. Please don't forget to rate, download, and subscribe.
And survive.
Also, like us on Facebook at Horr-Gasm Podcast, Instagram at Horr-Gasm, Twitter at Gasm Horror, YouTube at the Horr-Gasm Podcast, and Twitch at Horr-Gasm Games. If you have a movie you'd like us to review, this is the best way to let us know. We hope to see you again next week because we have such sights to show you. Plenty of Horr-Gasms for you to experience. Bye!
See ya.